Jennifer, what has been your favorite part so far?
Meeting all the people.
Meeting all the peeps?
Yeah, all the peeps. And putting on my jacket.
And putting on jacket. All the people are great. In the video, I have new friends. I have more friends. And yeah, it's really awesome. And good thing I don't know anyone in Chicago or they would be judging me hard and I'd see them later. But it's a big city, so I can be weird. I'm not good at vlogging. I don't have anything to say.
What about the conference?
Conference was lit. Conference was lit. We talked about discipleship, and yeah, we talked about doctrine. Have your doctrine right. Have scripture to back you up.
What was one thing that you learned from the conference that you didn't think that you knew?
Number one, if you think you know it all, you don't. There's always more to learn. Amen.
Great.
So yeah, and you're called to be wherever you are. So I'm not in Chicago, I'm in Jackson. So I gotta make change happen in Jackson.
Before the world began and the fall of man, you unfolded the drama of salvation's plan. And though we violate, we're cursed by the law. He sent his son to die, and he absorbed it all. We covet, we kill, our throats are open graves. We lie and we steal, but he still saves. It's happening now, new hearts will burn. All creation yearns for the king's return. Before the world began and the fall of man, you unfolded the drama.
Look at this bean. Look at this bean. Look at this bean.
I don't know. It sounds like something I've heard though.
Look at all these beans. As a Christian, the first thing Jesus gives me is the ministry of reconciliation because of the gospel, because Jesus ultimately reconciled us humans back to God through his death and through his resurrection, has reconciled our relationship back to God to where sin doesn't separate us anymore. So how much more should I be in the ministry of reconciliation? Because it's been shown to me, I have been forgiven, therefore I shall forgive other people. I have received love, therefore I will love other people. I can't blame people who've never seen love, never been shown forgiveness, do not realize the gospel and what that means, to then therefore show that for other people. My issue is with the church. The people that claim to follow Jesus, the people that claim to study his word and his doctrine, claim that Jesus is the Son of God and he is how we've been made right, completely excluding the basis of the gospel because it's uncomfortable, because they don't really understand it, because everybody is a victim, because whatever, fill in the blank. That's what I have a problem with. And that's kind of this conference, like we talked about that. Like, we should first be starting with the church. Christians should be holding other Christians accountable. So I could read all the books in the world, I could read scripture all day long, but if you're only a hearer of the word and not a doer, it's dead. Faith without action is dead. Faith without deeds are dead, as James would say. And so the same way, if I'm hearing all these things, I'm hearing all this information and I'm aware and I'm woke, like we talked about, like, but I'm not acting any differently, it's dead. It doesn't matter if you're aware. It doesn't matter if you're really, there's not been a heart change yet. I learned a lot this weekend. I'm continuing to learn, but just, yeah, question your pastor, question your community, question the people that have the same opinion as you, and be like, how did we get to this point? How did I get to the opinion that I have? How did I get to where I am? And question where you're at in life. It's not by accident. I think it's sovereignty that God has me in Mississippi and not Chicago. or has me in Mississippi and not in another place. Like, I'm meant to work with him and come alongside him in the healing process that he's doing in Mississippi for now, and I'm super pumped about it. If you are Christian and you're wondering, like, man, I have doubts about God and his sovereignty, I have doubts about God and his presence in my present struggles, in what's happening in the world, really quick, I'm going to read Habakkuk, but it kind of gives this conversation of prayer between Habakkuk and God. Habakkuk is complaining. He says, "How long, Lord, must I call for help, and you do not listen? Or cry out to you violence, and you do not save? Why do you make me look at injustice? Why do you tolerate wrongdoing? Destruction and violence are before me. There is strife and conflict. Therefore the law is paralyzed, and justice never prevails." The Lord answers, "Look at the nations and watch and be utterly amazed, for I'm going to do something in your days that you would not believe even if I told you."
There's a spirit from above and he's descending.